The verdict came down last night at around 10 o'clock. George Zimmerman, not guilty.
Yeah, the former Neighborhood Watch volunteer cleared on all charges in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. We go live now to our Ryan Raish at the Sanford courthouse. And Ryan, just as important as the verdict itself is how the country is reacting still this morning. What are you seeing there in Sanford?
Well, after a long, late night, things have actually started to quiet down out here. And as far as the protesters go, it's starting to look like how it did for most of this trial. We really didn't see that many protesters out here. For the most part, reporters outnumbered the protesters. But that changed near the end of this trial, definitely for closing arguments, and definitely yesterday. That's when the crowd started to gather. And as the verdict came down, I want to show you the news slowly started to spread through the crowd, and that's when the chants grew louder. Law enforcement worked hard to ensure peaceful protests, and for the most part, that's what we saw. No violence, no outbursts, but the division and the emotion remains in this case. And now we're getting word of perhaps more rallies in the coming days, so this story is not done yet. Late last night, the attorneys reacted to the verdict.
I am disappointed, as we are with the verdict, but we accept it. We live in a great country that has a great criminal justice system. It is not perfect, but it's the best in the world, and we respect the jury's verdict.
We have, from the beginning, just prayed for the truth to come out and for peace to be the result, and that continues to be our prayers, and we believed they have been answered.
We are ecstatic with the results. George Zimmerman was never guilty of anything except protecting himself in self-defense. I'm glad that the jury saw it that way, and I hope that everyone who thinks, particularly those who doubted George's reasons and doubted his background, now understand that the jury knew everything that they knew was enough for them to find him not guilty.
So one of the questions here is what's next for George Zimmerman? His defense attorney, Mark O'Mara, talked to reporters last night and addressed that as well. George Zimmerman certainly has been receiving threats. He's certainly been living in hiding for the last year and a half. We don't know where he lives, and that will likely continue for quite a long time. Last night, he did get his ankle monitor removed, so he is finally a free man. Something else to mention, we have not heard from the jurors. They made a decision not to speak with the media. There was a request made, but they decided to remain silent, at least for now, and their identities will remain sealed for the next 6 months. Live in Sanford, Ryan Raish. Back to you guys.